Have you ever thought about butterflies, the variety of them, the longevity of them, the persistence of them, the beauty of them? I don't really care about butterflies either. Have you ever thought about feathers? Feathers are everywhere. They are all around, all different kinds of feathers, benefiting all kinds of creatures. She hung up, annoyed with us. And Jerry and Esther were in California. They were in La Jolla. And so they went down to George's to have lunch. Jerry had not heard the conversation. Esther was not really remembering it. They went down, they were walking down the main street in La Jolla, past the La Valencia Hotel, and Esther had such an urge to go inside this shop that she dragged Jerry in, kicking and screaming. He did not want to go, but Esther was strong about it, and he followed her in, and on the back wall was the most amazing display of blue glass that either of them had ever seen. Now, they didn't want blue glass, they didn't care about blue glass, but nevertheless, there was blue glass. So they left, they didn't buy anything, they went to George's and had lunch, and then they walked down to the cove, which in their opinion is the most beautiful place where the land meets the sea. They love that place. So they're walking across this grassy area on their way to the rocks, and a flurry of butterflies so intense they had to stop talking in order not to eat them. Surrounded them.
Really?
And Esther still did not make any association. And then a little Asian boy who looked like he was about 3 or 4 years old came running from across the grass, looking at Esther, holding something in his hand, and when he got to her, he handed her a feather. And in that moment, it all came back to Esther, and she realized that in less than 2 hours, the universe had orchestrated a very clear, very clever path of least resistance to satisfy all 3 subjects that had been offered in no resistance. So it is our encouragement that you choose some things that you don't have a big wad of resistance, not a cause, not a mission, not a life's purpose, not something that you're all wadded up about. Just pick something easy and just ponder it lightly in the morning when you wake up, and watch how clever the universe is at helping you rendezvous with it. And if you do this enough, you...
So basically what she's saying is that when you have something that you want to manifest, we'll use that, and you don't have any kind of resistance behind it. In other words, that if you don't have a reason, if you don't want it as much, if you don't have any kind of disbelief about it, it's just something that's just like, okay, you don't really too much care for it. Watch how fast that manifests, because it doesn't have any kind of resistance that's in the way. When you don't have anything you don't have much resistance in the way of something that you don't really too much care for, or let's say that you do want, but you know how to get the resistance out of the way, watch how fast it manifests. So this is basically what she's saying. If you can put yourself in the place where you got least resistance that is there, and watch how fast it manifests. So yes, least resistance is the key.
Come to know that there is no influence that you cannot provide, that there is nothing outside your range. Because when you tune to your true desire, meaning Source is with you in that desire, in the absence of resistance, all things are possible. And all manner of things take place. People are standing around. They can't believe, what are these politicians doing? They're actually talking to each other. We've not seen them talking to each other. They're actually beginning to seem reasonable. They're actually beginning to work together. Wouldn't it be nice if a body of brilliant people, like those brilliant people, with degrees and purpose, wouldn't it be a lovely thing if they could come together and listen with reason and tune into the Source within them and not care whose idea it is, but just revel in the perfection of the idea? This is a world that is possible for you. And it only takes a handful of you to focus in that way, you see. But as long as you're beating the drum of what's wrong with the politicians, you add momentum to that, and you defeat your own purpose, and you distract yourself from the true trajectory that is you, and you feel bad in the process, and you blame them for how you feel.
That's true. A lot of people out there are blaming other people the way that they feel. If something's not happening for them in their life, they're looking for somebody to blame. So stop focusing more on the problem and more so on the solution, because nobody is responsible for your happiness. It's all yours.